Welcome back. My name's Jen and I'm in Zone 7. I like to garden and I like to watch other people garden. So if you want to see me garden, follow along. First of all, we're going to the big box store to get some dirt to revamp my raised beds. I got 3 bags of the Star Green because it was on sale. It was only like $3. And 2 bags of the Miracle-Gro. I'm going to mix these together and put them in my raised bed. Every time I pull out an old plant, a little bit of dirt goes with it, plus it settles over time. And I just like to add the nutrients back into the soil. Even though I'm feeding my plants, I like that this has a little bit extra nutrients in it. I also got 10 bags of mulch. You can see them in the background. I already unloaded those. We're going to mulch my front yard first and then skip over to my garden. So if you want to see that part, skip ahead to 2 minutes and 50 seconds. In the meantime, this was broken up over, I think, 3 days. The first day, I just got the supplies and I put everything about where it needed to be. So the garden dirt came over here on my garden side, and then I laid all the mulch around where I wanted to put that. I have 2 main goals for my garden this year. One, I wanted to grow my own landscaping flowers. That's why I'm including some of my front yard mulching in this video, because I'm also putting in my own pansies that I grew. My other goal is that I want to use something out of my garden every day. A lot of times I like the aesthetic of gardening and the look of it, and I like it to be neat and pretty and tidy, but I don't always use everything that I get. So my goal is to make sure that I'm using something out of my garden every day. Alright, on to the mulching. You can see my little buddy was there helping me. He was super excited to use his new wheelbarrow. But here we just put in some pansies by my light pole. And then I put some down by my mailbox, and then here we were putting them by the tree. I also typically put a row of flowers here in front of this bush, and then this corner is kind of a mix. Sometimes I do taller flowers, sometimes I do smaller flowers. Here's the tree all planted up and mulched. I got some ruffled pansies and some regular spring pansies, and then some leftover mums. I left a good bit of space between the flowers because I also have petunias in my basement and impatiens that I want to put out, but I'm not putting those out until about Mother's Day.
And smile.
Here's my son helping out again. He was loving cutting down some of the old dead stuff, so I let him have at it. He was having a blast. My goal for this bed is just to clean it out completely. So here, it's later in the evening. I got the front side of that mulched. We'll come back tomorrow to do the rest of this corner. But for now, I'm going to take a break, get in the hot tub, relax a little bit, and hit it again tomorrow. Welcome to mulching day 2. Here I got the front side put in. You can see some pansies. They looked great yesterday, and then something came along and ate them. I have been growing them since January in my basement. It's now March. I put them out for one night and something ate them. Anyways, that corner was done. Let's go on to my garden now. This garden bed alongside my house is about 3 foot by 16 foot. It's my favorite because it gets the best light. But I left everything in here from the spring. Look, I have some broccoli still growing. There I have some garlic growing too. I want to keep that. I didn't clean this garden out in the fall because I wanted to wait till spring and see what was still growing, like these Brussels sprouts. I actually harvested real Brussels sprouts off of those. Then I also had this cabbage that seems to be doing well, so I want to leave that in here and see how it does. I'm also keeping some of that Swiss chard, but not all of it. Then here I have strawberries in hanging baskets. The leaves are looking good, but they definitely need tidied up. In this bed, I cleaned out everything I didn't want, and then I roughed up the soil. Now I'm going to add in a mixture of my garden soil and then use my little square foot gardening square to plant everything else. So in the back, I have radishes, spinach, and garlic. Then I have bok choy, a little bit more spinach, some radishes, bunching onions, lettuce, and some more bunching onions. I like to pack everything in tight, make use of every single inch so I can grow a lot in a small space. There were my Brussels sprouts that left over from the winter. Then here's my second garden bed. This one I got some broccoli, I did some peas. I believe these ones are the shelling peas. Then a little bit of pak choy that I had that I don't actually think is pak choy, I'm not sure what it is. Then I have some lettuce and cabbage in the front. I might have to come in later and thin out a little bit of that broccoli on the edges. I'm experimenting with some different types of cabbages. I'm doing regular cabbage and Napa cabbage. I usually just do red cabbage, which is actually in this bed here in the front. That bed also had some snap peas and Brussels sprouts. Then this cabbage I'm leaving alone. Over here on my arch, this is where all the vining things go. I'm actually putting more peas over here. Here we've got peas, radishes, nothing in that one, turnips, leeks, more peas, and then bok choy. Lastly for the day, I'm heading into my greenhouse to plant some zinnia seeds. Subscribe if you want to follow along in my 2025 growing season.